Today I'm replacing motor mounts on a 2000 Ford Focus dual overhead cam. First mount is right there, pretty easy to get to, and remove the bolt for the coolant overflow tank, which is right in here. It's a 10 millimeter, and then you can lift it out of the way. The two bolts in here are 18 millimeter, and the rest of these, that one down here, and another back there, are 15 millimeter. I finished taking off all the bolts. One nut came off of that. This side, the stud came out. But before you take any of the bolts completely out, make sure you support the engine with a car jack with a block of wood underneath the oil pan, and then you can just take this whole thing out. And if you have to, move the hose out of the way to take the power steering reservoir and move it off. Once you get the old mount out of the way, this is the part that you'll actually be replacing. You use this bracket again and take that bolt off, put the new one on. And that's pretty much all that is. So when you replace this bolt, you're going to need to clamp this in a vise. Otherwise you're never going to get it off, and that'll move with this. Then you can just slip this back up under there. And I would use some anti-seize on the bolts and clean them up before putting them back in. Make sure that you get those bolts snugged down real tight. If you have a torque wrench, definitely look up the torque spec. And then you can put this back in place, slide it on the little clip, and put the bolt back in. Then for the driver's side, loosen up this hose clamp, take this connector off of here, and then lift out the airbox. When you pull up on the airbox, try to do it straight up. If you grab on it and pull up on an angle, then that can happen. Junk. There's the other broken off part. That happened a while ago, so I already have a replacement. Then the motor mount is right here, very easily to get to. And if you look in the Chilton manual, it says start by removing the battery tray. You only need to do that if you remove the lower half of the mount that is attached to the transmission. If you're just replacing the top half, which is this rubber piece that wears out, then you just need to remove the airbox and take off 4 bolts on the corner, and the one in the center is the stud from the part that's attached to the transmission.